is an ISO 6400. There's a tiny bit of noise coming in, but it's very, very nominal. I gotta say, it is still clean. I am starting to see a little bit of noise in here. Hi, my name is Jason Lanier. We're here in Venice Beach, California. We're just gonna do a quick high ISO test for you guys. So let's go here real quick. The sun is now setting, and we've been playing around with two of my assistants today, having a great time, and now we're gonna do some high ISO testing. So the first one is gonna be here at, well, everyone knows ISO 100 is great, so let's just skip that. Let's go to ISO 1000, okay? Chris, look at me. This is when you would absolutely need a good ISO. So, okay, we're gonna zoom into these. That's ISO 1000. There's no noise. And by the way, there is no lighting on his face. Okay. Now we're gonna go to ISO 6400. Okay. And I'm obviously gonna have to adjust the settings, so I'm gonna bring my shutter speed up. Okay, moving. I'm shooting this with the Sony A6300 A-mount lens using the LAEA3 adapter on the A6300. Let's take a look. This is an ISO 6400. There's a tiny bit of noise coming in, but it's very, very nominal. Chris looks very bored. Let's raise the stakes. Let's go up to 10,000. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. This is at 10,000. There is some noise coming in, but to me, it's very usable. And keep in mind, when you guys are printing, you're probably going to see it at about that big, depending on the size that you get. So we're talking about what would actually end up in a print. When you're looking at a print, guys, you're not going to look at it like this. Like, people need to keep that in mind when they're printing, and not when they pixel peep this bad. It's even that's usable, guys. Let's go to ISO 16,000. Okay. Zoom in. We are getting, the noise is getting more noticeable now. Again, this does have a lot better noise resolution than compared to something like the A6000. And it should, it's more money. And now let's go 25,600. Oh, Chris actually looks happy. That's just so cute. So we definitely are getting noise in there. Would I use this for professional purposes? Most likely not, unless I was absolutely in a pinch. But it's not like his face is scarred red. I mean, it used to be, not too long ago, we'd use an ISO 25,600, and I mean, good grief, we'd be looking at Lego blocks. Now we'll go all the way up to the extended range, all the way up, 51,200. I have to drop my shutter a little bit. Okay, let's zoom in. 51,200. Now, would I recommend 51,200 for most uses? No, but this is what it looks like, guys. And don't get me wrong, guys, when I am able to publish images, which will be soon, I will definitely. Sony is not stopping me from sharing the images because they're afraid of them, because believe me, they are gorgeous. It's just that's the way any manufacturer is with their pre-production models. When I'm doing with Rotolite or any of the other ones, they want you to be careful with the pre-production stuff, because they may do a few tweaks before the end. But if it's going to get better than this, then that's even better news for all of us. Earlier on today, we did a test where we actually did a high ISO test a little bit around sunset. The sun had set, or was setting, I should say, but it was blocked by a lot of cloud cover. And as such, it was kind of gray out, but there was still a lot of ambient light. And people have asked, well, what about, what about when it's actually dark outside and you're just having to use street lights or something of that nature? Let's go here. We're just gonna, we have my man Chris over there. Now this is at ISO 100. Now obviously he's a little bit underexposed right there, but I'm just starting off at ISO 1000. We're gonna start off there. And I'll take a picture and kind of zoom in here. And you can see there's just no noise. It looks great. Now, I'll be honest with you, I would expect it to look great at ISO 1000. If it didn't, I'd be very disappointed. So let's go up the scale here. Let's go up here. So even though I can't share the images, I can actually still share the back of the screen and zoom in for you guys, which is actually sometimes more than I can do with the images, just because of the zoom functionality. So let's zoom in, look at it. This is ISO 2000. Still unbelievably clean. And I don't notice any red, I don't notice any distortion. It looks very, very clean. Now this is typically where you'll start seeing it, and I bet you anything later on we're going to see more noise in there as we go up the chart. ISO 2000 to 4000. Okay, zoom into it. Still very clean. Now I think this is where it's going to show somewhat of, it's definitely an improvement over the A6000. I mean, that's really clean, guys. Still in here, we're not seeing much at all. This is where you'd see a lot of noise. The writing would become bad. His face would even be really kind of Lego-ish at this point, and it's not. And mind you, he is in shade. I mean, that light that's hitting his nose and the bridge of his cheek, that's just coming from the street lamp above. He's in shade right there, okay? And this is where we'll see it when we get going. This is where we'll see it even more. Let's go to ISO 8000. I gotta say, it is still clean. I am starting to see a little bit of noise in here. I'm probably going to take my exposure down just so we can actually look at this. Starting to get some noise in here. This is ISO 8000. Starting to get a little bit of noise in there. Okay, but still, guys, this is really clean. Look at his skin tone in there. That looks really good for ISO 8000. Okay, now I'm going to drop my I'm going to increase my shutter speed just a little bit. Nope. Just so I can not just completely blow out the shot. Okay, here we go. I'm going to increase my ISO up to 16,000 now. Definitely now we're starting to see some noise on his face. And we are starting to see some blending where it actually kind of starts to come in, and this is a sign of noise where it's actually starting to come in and pixelate. So we are getting much more noticeable noise on his face. Like I said, here we're seeing it in the blacks. If you look in here, we're starting to see the noise. But still, this is ISO 16,000 on a crop sensor camera. Oh, here's another place. We're starting to see some on the pole there. Let's go down. Yeah, I said earlier on we start to see it in the shadows. The shadow areas will really tell you about noise. So here we're getting the shadows in here. So that's definitely having some noise. Is this usable? I think it's usable because keep in mind, we're zooming into this right here. Is this usable? Yeah, I think it is. For all purposes, it's not. But it just has to, you guys have to decide what's usable for you. Okay, so now let's go up to 25,600. Chris looks like he's smoking marijuana, which makes sense. There's been so much MJ going on at Venice Beach. We'll have secondary highs. Noise right here in the shadow detail. Down in here. Definitely getting more distortion now. But guys, for ISO 25,600 to be this zoomed in, look how far zoomed in we are. That's still ISO 25,600. That's pretty awesome, guys. And it is better than the A6000. There's no two ways around it. Okay. Last but not least, we're going to go to ISO 51,200. I'm going to drop just so we can get a little bit better exposure. There we go. So obviously there, see now his face is starting to come together. The lips, there's less definition. The eyes are coming more together. Everything's just kind of starting to blend into one. It still looks pretty decent at ISO 51,200, but there's noise. I mean, to say there isn't noise would be stupid. But I've seen a lot of images of 51,200 and they do not look like that. I mean, they don't. That's pretty impressive for a crop sensor camera. Yeah, you also see a lot of, like in clothing when I shoot people, you'll see it there, so on and so forth. Let's go back and look at the shadow detail in here. Yeah, see now we're getting red. We're losing, especially the reds right there. We're really starting to lose those. So now that sign in real life looks that different. That's just not something to do with the camera. That's the way the sign is. There's something wrong with that sign. But pretty awesome stuff. So is the ISO better on the A6300 than the A6000? Yes, it is. Is it significantly better? I believe it is. I believe that's one of the main selling points. You know, a lot of people talk about the A6000 and will I do a comparison? Sure, I can do a comparison, but I want to do it with production models so I can actually share images. This is what I can do with the pre-production model now, and I just want to share with you guys that the future looks very bright for this camera. I think the A6000 is clearly going to have a great place at a great starting price. And this gives people two amazing options with Sony cameras in the crop sensor area. That both are kick-butt cameras, just they're different. The A6300 is more money and it should perform better. I think in the daytime ISO, and especially now when it's more dark, the A6300 did a great job. Does it compare to the A7S II or the A7R2? No, it does not hit those levels. The A7R2 doesn't compare as well to the A7S II. The A7S II is the king of low light. A7R2 is good, but it's not the A7S II. And this is still a little bit beneath the A7R2 in regards to its low light sensitivity. Would I expect that? Absolutely. One is a full frame sensor, the other one's a crop. So I hope this has helped, guys. I hope that you're able to make an informed decision based upon the information that I'm putting out there. And I hope you just enjoy the videos. We come to interesting places rather than some boring laboratory, and we get nearly accosted by people and have race wars break out, and all these types of things have been happening on these videos the last couple days. But it must be a full moon. But I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate Jason for filming this, and Lynn and Chris and Art for coming out and helping today. And I appreciate you guys for being part of my Fedora family, the Fedora Nation, and just, like I say, I don't care what you shoot with, guys, Sony, Nikon, Canon. I'm just trying to produce videos that help spread information for people. So until next time, keep shooting, never give up on your dreams, find the right gear that works for you. And remember, you only have one chance to get it right. Talk to you later. Bye. Last but not least, guys, make sure if you haven't already, go to jasonlanier.com. You can find information out there for my workshops. Also, guys, go to my Facebook group, sign up for my Facebook group, which is free, obviously, where I share a lot of information. I will have, from time to time, get on there and I'll be able to help critique images. And I just am more conversive and I participate more with my followers there than I do any other place online. It's a real-time experience on there, which is really fun. So that's facebook.com/groups/Jason Lanier Workshops. A huge thank you to Sony for letting me borrow this gear. A huge thank you to everybody for watching, and I appreciate it. Talk to you later, guys. Bye. You guys still here? Hello? Talking to you. Hey guys, if you want to learn online with me, go to patreon.com/Jason Lanier Photography, and you will be able to continue this craziness online from anywhere on planet Earth with me. If you want to join me live, go to jasonlanier.com/workshops, and you'll get to see me in my full glory live and in person, guys. I think there's a smudge on there. Yeah, I got it. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.